How to use vocabulary in real life about work. Let's jump right in. Going to work. Now, there are many different types of transportation that people use to get from home to work. Some people use the train. Now, the question is, though, what do we call these individuals? Well, in English, we call them commuter. One more time, commuter. The meaning is someone who regularly travels between work and home. So an example sentence is, the train was packed with commuters. Now, before we move on, I want to explain one word in this sentence. The word is packed. After me, packed. Now, this word just means to have little or no space between the parts. So again, to have little or no space between the parts, okay? Between the parts. Now, in English, we have a very useful idiom that uses the word packed inside of it. The idiom is packed like sardines. Sardines are the little fish that come inside of a can. So let me draw this right here. I remember growing up, my dad enjoyed eating sardines. They were little fish and they looked like this. But there were a lot of fish that came in this one can. But as you notice, there's no space in between them. So we say packed like sardines. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're going to look at an advanced version of this sentence. And remember, in order to make a sentence advanced or longer, you need to make sure that it has the 5 W's. Okay, if you need help on this, look at the video in the top right corner. There's a link. Okay, 5 W's, which are who, what, when, where, and why. So let's read the advanced sentence first. The train in Washington, D.C. was packed with commuters this afternoon because it is Friday. So the first W, who? Well, we've just learned that commuters refers to people who travel between work and home. What? Well, we know that they are packed inside of the train. Okay, packed in the train. When? Well, we know it was this afternoon. Where? We see that it's Washington, D.C. And why? Because it is Friday. So this proves that this is an advanced English sentence. All right, now let's keep going to the next one. Some people also take the bus to work. I remember when I lived in Korea, I also took the bus sometimes. But once again, what do we call these individuals? You got it. Commuters. Again, commuters. Now, this is the next sentence we're going to look at. It says, many commuters prefer to take the bus instead of the train. Now, within this sentence, there's one word I want us to look at. The word is prefer. Again, prefer. Now, this word just means to like something more than something else. Okay, again, to like something more than something else. So, for example, let's use the sun to represent the daytime and let's use the moon to represent the nighttime. Well, personally, I am a morning person, so I prefer the day over the nighttime. So I can say I prefer the daytime. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Now, what we're going to do again is we're going to look at an advanced version of this sentence. Using what? You got it. The 5 W's. So let's read the sentence first. It says, many New York City commuters prefer to take the early morning bus instead of the train because there are less people on the bus. All right, so let's get started. Who? Well, we know our who is New York City commuters, this part of the sentence. What? Well, we know they prefer to take the early morning bus instead of the train. All right? When? Well, it's actually inside of our previous answer. Early morning. Okay? Where? Well, this is also inside. New York City. Who, what, when, where, and why? Because there are less people on the bus. So you see, we answered all of the 5 W's, which means this is an advanced sentence. Okay, now let's go to our next example. Now, some people take the train or the bus, and there are many types of trains. Now, again, what do we call people that take the train or the bus or travel to work? You got it. Commuter. Once again, commuter. Okay, so let's look at the next sentence. Here we go. Audiobooks are a common form of entertainment used by commuters. Now, in this sentence, we see one expression that I would like to explain to you all. The expression is form of entertainment. Now, this is very simple. It just means one type of entertainment. Again, one type of entertainment. There are many different types of entertainment. For example, we have the television. Many people use this as their main form of entertainment. Or you have physical books. People like reading books or magazines. These are different types or forms of entertainment. All right, now let's keep going. Let's look at the advanced version of this sentence. Remember, advanced means that it answers the 5 W's, okay? Here we go. Audiobooks are a common form of entertainment used by commuters on the bus when they are on their way home from work because they are convenient. Now, the first W is who. So, who are we talking about? Commuters. What? We're talking about audiobooks being a common form of entertainment. When? Well, when they are on their way home from work. Who, what, when, where? When they are on the bus. And why? Because they are convenient. So, yes, this is an advanced sentence. Okay? All right, now let's keep going. Your boss at work. So, we all have different types of managers at our jobs, but sometimes bosses have to be a little bit tough. In English, we say demanding. One more time, demanding. It means requiring or claiming more than is generally needed, requiring intense effort or attention. Now, our sentence looks like this. My boss is so demanding. Now, in this sentence, there's a very easy word, so, and I'm sure you know this word, but we use this word in this example to place emphasis on the next word, okay? To place emphasis on the next word. So, for example, let's say there is a man that we are looking at, okay? And we think he's very handsome. Let's give him a beard, okay? Let's give him a beard. And we think this man is very handsome. So we may say that he is handsome. But if I add so before this word, I am emphasizing and I'm saying that he is very handsome. Okay? So adding the word so in front of another word puts emphasis. So again, we are saying that my boss is so demanding. All right, now let's look at the advanced version of this sentence using the 5 W's, okay? All right, here we go. No one at our office likes our boss because he is always so demanding. All right, so the first W, who? Well, we're talking about no one. That means no one at the office. What? Likes our boss. When? Well, we're going to use the word always. Where? Our office. And why? Because he's so demanding. So this is definitely an advanced sentence. All right, let's keep going to the next one. Now, there are times when you are working with your coworkers, but the boss may be tough in that situation as well, even though you're working hard. And again, what do we say? Demanding. Very good. Demanding. So this is the next sentence. His boss demanded that everyone work late. Now, this sentence is very simple, but I want us to look at this part right here. Work late. I'm going to give you another way of saying this. In English, we also say work overtime. Okay, it's the same meaning as work late. So, for example, if your job normally has you getting off at 5 o'clock, but you have to work longer than that and your time goes over in this area, we say you are working overtime or working late. Okay? All right, now let's look at the advanced version of this sentence. Okay? Here we go. His boss demanded that everyone work late last night at the office since they did not complete their project. Okay, so first W, who? Well, we're talking about his boss. You can also talk about everyone, okay? These ones can be counted for the who, okay? And what? Everyone work late, okay? Who, what, when? Exactly. Last night. Where? At the office. And why? Since they did not complete their project. So now you're seeing this is an advanced sentence and you're seeing how easy it is to expand your sentences. So let's keep going. Now, sometimes you may be in a meeting and the boss may be very tough. Once again, what did we call him? Demanding. Now again, your boss may be a female, but she can also be demanding. So the sentence is, sometimes our CEO can be very demanding. Now, since we've looked at this multiple times, I want to give you some synonyms or similar words for demanding. You can say insistent. Okay, one more time, insistent. Or you can even say tough, okay? Remember, it just means demanding. Someone is tough just means demanding, or someone is insistent, it just means demanding. So, for example, if your boss uses words like now with an exclamation point or must all of the time, he or she may be insistent, tough, or demanding, okay? Okay, now let's look at the advanced version of this sentence, again, using the 5 W's. So let's read it. Sometimes our CEO can be very demanding, so we usually try to avoid going near his office at the end of the month. All right, so let's get started. Who? We're talking about we, and we're also talking about the CEO. So you can choose as long as there's someone in there to answer the who. Okay, what? Well, we usually try to avoid going near his office, okay? Who, what, when? At the end of the month, okay? Who, what, when, where? Right here, near his office. And why? Because he can be very demanding. So we've answered all of the 5 W's, and this is definitely an advanced English sentence. All right, let's keep going. The people at work. Now, at your job, you will have a lot of people that you work with. So what do you call the people you work with? In English, we say colleague. Again, colleague. A person someone works with or a coworker. All right, so here's our first sentence. All of my colleagues went out for lunch today. Now, in this sentence, there's one thing I want us to look at very quickly. It's an expression, went out for lunch. Now, the words are very simple, but I want to explain something very quickly to you. Went out for lunch means to leave where you are, okay? To leave where you are to go buy lunch, okay? To go buy or purchase lunch. So let's look at it. For example, let's say this right here is your building. the building that you work in for your company. Let's give it some windows right here. Well, for lunch, you and your coworkers decide to leave the building to go to the restaurant or fast food place down the street from your business or your company, okay? You decide to go out for lunch to buy food. All right, now let's keep going. Let's look at the advanced version of this sentence. Here we go. All of my colleagues went out for lunch at the restaurant near our office today because our staff meeting was canceled. Okay, now let's answer the 5 W's. The first W is who. Well, who is? My colleagues. What? They went out for lunch. Okay, who, what, when. Okay, they went out for lunch today. Who, what, when, where. A restaurant near my office, near our office. And why? Because our staff meeting was canceled. So this is definitely an advanced sentence. All right, so let's keep going to the next sentence. Now, you're also going to be with these individuals in meetings at your job. And what do we call them again? Exactly, colleagues. So you're with your colleagues, and this is a sentence. My colleague and I had to work on a project. Now, there are no special vocabulary words in this sentence, but I want to give you another way of emphasizing that you and your colleague were working together on the project. So this is for emphasis, okay? In order for you to emphasize. So if you put work and then add together, okay? Together on a project, it emphasizes that you had to work with your coworker and no one else. Let me show it to you visually, okay? So at your office, there may be many different people there, and everyone has different projects. But for this project specifically, you had to work together with your coworker. So again, it's just for emphasis, okay? Together. All right, now let's keep going. Let's look at the advanced version of this sentence. My colleague and I had to take work home all last month in order to meet the project deadline. All right, so again, 5 W's. The first one is who. Well, we're talking about my colleague and I. What did we have to do? We had to take work home, okay? Who, what, when. All last month, okay? Where, home, and why. In order to meet the project deadline. So again, it answers all of the 5 W's, and it is definitely an advanced English sentence. All right, let's keep going. Now, again, the people you work with, the people you're around with during the day at your job, what are they called? You got it. Colleague. All right, so this is a sentence. I like all of my colleagues. Now, this is a very easy, beginner, basic English sentence. But there's another way of saying I like. In English, we have an expression, I am fond of. F-O-N-D. Now, this just means I like someone or something, okay, like a friend. So, if I say I am fond of them, it means I like them, okay? I am fond of them. So, again, you can use this later on when you're speaking in English. So, let's keep on going now to look at the advanced version of this sentence. Here we go. I like all of my colleagues because they work hard every day at the office. So again, the first W is who? Well, we said I, and we said colleagues, okay? So you can pick which one you want to use. What? Well, I like all of my colleagues. When? Every day, okay? Every day. Where? At the office. And why? Because they work hard. So yes, this is an advanced sentence. It answers all of the 5 W's. Now, if you want to continue studying with me, go to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/ebooks to get one of my English ebooks that will help you improve your English. Or you can go to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/courses to start studying one of my English courses with me. Remember to click the next video on the left side of your screen. And as always, keep studying English.